Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is a Raid Shadow Legends video. So guys, I've been away for the weekend actually. I went away with Lady H and we went to a castle. We went to Thornbury Castle to stay for a couple of nights for Lady H's birthday. She gave me a whooping at some axe throwing and we kind of had a look around anyway. We had a nice weekend, and I lost the axe throwing, which was very sad for me. But there's been this kind of like whole wave of controversy and drama going around the raid community. Actually, two very different things. And I do want to touch on them because I think it's really important. There's two things going on right now. You've got one, you've got the nerf potential of champs. And any form of conversation, look at all these pop-ups, any form of conversation around nerfs, it could even be we're nerfing an uncommon or whatever, the community blow up. It's a hated thing in the game. Hated. And I guess I don't sit quite in the same place as the community generally on this one. But there was talk about this kind of like Wixwell Neerf, or at least changing the way the shield cap happens. And all I'm seeing is like Facebook posts, you know, people, I'm gonna quit the game if it happens. You know, all these type of like, we're infuriated by the change, and I kind of get it. Take Wixwell as the example. You know, I run a Wixwell clan boss team. I have done since he came out. Makes my clan boss life very easy, and it's made a lot of people's lives very easy. In my clan, you notice my clan's a bit of an older clan, and there's this kind of like cross between Wixwell teams or teams that just already worked for people and they don't need to change it. Like, it's already working. Why would you change a team that already functions? Unless you really want to rip someone out of that team and use them somewhere else. So a lot of the teams you see in my clan are actually the older style unkillable teams. But I bet if I went and looked at newer clans that don't have the kind of like players that have been playing for 5 years odd, like my clan here, a lot of them, you'll see a lot more Wixwell teams. I think it would be the majority of players that picked up Wixwell will be using him in their clan boss team. So there's this kind of worry about, if Wixwell is nerfed, do I suddenly fail to have my Ultra Nightmare chest on farm, very easy, 1 key in a day? You know, a lot of people view clan boss now as old content, beaten content that we don't want to be spending a lot of our time on. And it's a hard balance, honestly, because people that come into the game, in the last 6 months, that's not the case, obviously. But Wixwell did kind of enable that for basically anybody that picked him up once they did a little bit of work on their teams. And it is a little bit of work. Compared to other teams, Wixwell's made it easy. But the reason I think why the potential nerf comes about is because of Hydra. And Hydra Clash is one of these areas of the game which is a problem for Raid. It's a massive problem. They've added a competitive element to the game. And you know, if it's just PvE, then you know, you could argue, well, what's the point in making nerfs? What's the point in nerfs if it's just PvE? Let people get fun, big numbers, let people enjoy the game. You know, you've made a mistake by bringing someone in as strong as they are, but you know, do you need to go and fix it if it's just PvE? Thing is though, as soon as you add a competitive element where it's now PvP, player versus player, then it gets different, because you know, the difference in scores that you can get through some of these team comps is like egregious. You know, you've got 6 billion points coming in here from Sneaky Tree running this Wixwell team, and it's very easy to run. Not very easy, it's kind of easy. You know, I built my first one this week, actually. Where am I? A bit lower down. And got, you know, my best score that I've got on Nightmare Clan Boss using this team. And this was based on like the Bronco work. So, you know, and this replaced, by the way, I've got one more key to use. This replaced, for me, this team. Couple of Acrisias, Teox, Laz, Krisk, like Void Legendaries and OP champs. That was replaced because I was able to build the Wixwell comp. So this is where I guess my view changes compared to a lot of the community, because I don't think there should be anything totally busted in the game. I just don't. Trunder is in the same group. Wixwell's in the same group. Like, it doesn't make it fun for everyone. It makes it fun just for the people that have got that. And the trouble is, if you're up against people that have got those tools that you do not have, like, I guess Elysium here might be the example. Like, are they having fun right now in this competition? They've used almost the same amount of keys as the rest of us. Are these guys having fun right now? You know, we've got over 10 times their points. And this is not a bad score, by the way. 41 billion is not a bad score. So, for me, I don't like that there's comps that just are totally busted in PvP. The problem you've got, though, is that, you know, we've got this crazy score here. And if we went up against some of the top guys, they're 10 times in what we do. Because there's such a massive amount of power creep in the game. You know, +4 Trunders with Crushing Rend will do an insane amount more than a normal Trunder. Or, no, sorry, than a +4 Trunder just with 4-star Soul. Okay? And that will do more than, like, you know, a +1 Trunder without the 4-star Soul. Like, is the difference in the power level of these different mechanics that Raid have added in is insane. That's not the case, though, with this Wixwell comp. So we've got an official kind of, like, I guess, bit of info back. I did ask in the content creator chat. I was just like, look, is it confirmed that Wixwell is being nerfed? And the info I got back was, look, there's data mined snippets that come out. Please talk to us first. Basically, something was data mined that said there's going to be some sort of shield cap added. There could be a shield cap added into the game, right? And no more info, nothing to say it associates itself with Wixwell, although it feels like it probably does. But anyway, there's nothing to say that it's happening. And anyway, basically they came back and said, as for the situation with Wixwell, we've previously mentioned that we're working on a complex solution to rebalance Hydra and Hydra Clash in particular. Complex solution here is like capitalized. It's like bolded out, okay? And so that says to me, you know, this Trunder comp would be not changed. I don't know if they're going to change stuff. I think they're going to change the way scoring works, is my gut, but I don't know any more than that. We'll communicate all the details about the solution in a timely manner once it comes. I can assure you we're not making any secret Wixwell nerfs that people are talking about. The info's not accurate. So please kindly wait until there's official announcements. Now, I did wait to build my Trunder team and my Wixwell teams until recently, actually, because there was a post in one of, like, the weekly digests or the fortnightly digests where they said they're doing exactly what I just mentioned there. And I didn't build my teams on purpose because I was just kind of like, look, is there any point in me building these teams if they're just going to get nerfed into the ground anyway? And based on that post that I see there, it looks like it might still be a bit of a way out. But they will, by the sounds of it, they will make changes specifically to stuff that happens in Hydra, either in the way that it's scored or in the way that some of the mechanics work on some of these champions. But let's be clear, I've seen Trunder replaced with a Taras recently in basically the same team, and Taras is like pumping insane damage as well. Okay, this will not go away by a nerf to one champion. It will slightly change, by the way, it will, but there are a lot of ways that people do insane point scoring in this game. But this is a problem. Like SP26, look at this one. 67 billion points. This one key here from SP26, without any plus Trunder, this is just a normal Trunder. This is insane. This is a normal Trunder against Brutal. Can that be right? How the hell has he done that many points? A 5-star one with the double Yumiko set up, and he has got 67 billion points. What the hell is that? 20 billion damage out of this Trunder. How's he doing that much damage? That's insane. Not even a 6-star Crushing Rend one. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. 22 billion points on that team. Wow. That's blown me away. The double Yumiko's like, there's just so many ways to empower this. But Yeah, this isn't even close to being a maxed out one. Not even close. So, there's a massive problem with certain team comps. But, you've even got, what sort of score is this? 620. Okay, so that's more normal. I say normal. It's still crazy high. But, yeah, there's a lot of problems. There's a lot which is a problem besides just Wixwell. So, if Raid do end up nerfing Wixwell or nerfing the way his shield grows, I feel like there's got to be a suite of nerfs or changes at the same time. Otherwise, that's completely unfair. I do get the other side of it where the community are like, look, we've chosen this kit for Wixwell. Out of all the options we had, how can you change it now? I get the narrative, but in honesty, we didn't know how Wixwell's shield was going to grow based on what we chose. We actually thought it was going to grow like Brogni's shield grows. Let's be honest. Yeah, if you're going to call stuff out, let's be honest about it. And if it grew like the way Brogni's shield grows, it wouldn't do the same level of craziness. It would still be crazy, by the way, but not to the same level. We're noticing there's no teams that are doing the Brogni shield growth to get the same damage out of a Yannicka. But it probably could still happen, honestly. It probably could still happen. It's just much harder to do. So, this is the first thing. People are upset about it. I personally think trying to get back to a level of balance in the game is better. But I just think we're so far from it that it's basically impossible at this point. With the mythical champions that are insane, with some of the legendaries which are insane, the void legendaries which are insane, Taras Marishka combos, like they're so far from finding a level of balance that you'd have to rebalance, as in probably nerf or massively upscale half the legendaries to get to anywhere close to a level of balance. There is something to say you could just try and fix Trunda and fix Wixwell to make them more balanced, but I think a load more would just come through the woodwork, which would be insane. So I don't think you're going to get anywhere fast through doing that. But we'll see. We'll see what they decide to do. It's definitely a really difficult place to be now because they've just power crept the game really hard over the last 18 months. Now, the second thing which I'm seeing a lot is talk of fatigue. And this one's an interesting one because a lot of people did the Thor fusion because he's basically a beast, does a lot of damage. And as I just spoke about there, Thor fusion or any fusion that's strong, especially a damage dealer, paired with a high level soul, it's like you're powering him up so much further. Okay, so a lot of people picked up Thor, and then they went, I would say, at least for the 4-star soul, if not the 5. I just completed my 5-star soul recently, so I should be able to take mine. I was about to say then, why is mine not 5-star? I've not done it yet. But yeah, a lot of people took Thor up to 5-star, which is the equivalent of basically doing 2 fusions back to back, no rest. Okay, and it's exhausting, right? I don't care who you are, how much you love this game. It's exhausting because you have to be active 24/7, basically at that point for a month. It's basically a month of activities, being very active, very diligent, making sure you don't miss anything, and playing the game hardcore. So I did a video showing the new Fusion, who I think is decent. He's not brilliant. He's definitely got some cool interactions with Shamal and Lydia in Hydra, which I think could be quite interesting. It might end up being one of those ones that people build teams around in the future, and everyone's upset they didn't get him. And then everyone says, "Oh, no one said he was good anyway. What's up with these content creators?" That's generally not the case. Generally, it's just like they're good for certain people. As a mid-game player, he would be really effective, I think. But people are like, look, even if I wanted him, I'm exhausted. A month solid of grind to get Thor to the level that I wanted him is just insane. It's intense. We've always had a monthly fusion since I've played the game. Every single month we've had a fusion. And that alone hits people with fatigue. So when you're basically going back to back to back on these fusions, there's no respite. There's no respite at all. We've literally gone fusion into the soul event, into the fusion with like what, a couple of days, a weekend worth of respite. It's a lot for people to deal with. It's a lot for people to do. So I fully understand now why people are saying, look, HH, even if this champion is the best champion in the land, I can't do it. I'm burnt. I'm burnt out. I need some time. I need some time to go and farm some masteries. I need some time to go and, you know, maybe do the event dungeon. Maybe go and get yourself some stuff to level up the gear so that Thor actually hits like a beast. Give Thor his mastery so he actually does his job. Like, all these things, there's no time for it. There's no time for it with this type of schedule. They don't give you that bit of downtime to just relax into giving the dudes some stuff and building them out. And again, it's just, I think it's a bit of a watch out for Raid, because they're trying to give you as much interaction or interactable gameplay as possible. But, and obviously they've seen metrics that say we keep players for longer when we do this, but I don't know, the portal's always glowing. You know, we've got a new thing going on here. What's this new one? Got a new Souls thing today. You know, this used to be big news when I spoke about stuff like this. Now it's just like white noise, honestly. What's going on here? Got another progressive chance. Harima, massive champion, but every time we do one of them, they're massive champions. Yumiko, literally probably my most wanted Void legendary right now. Shuzen, also one of my most wanted Void legendaries. Like, all of these progressive chances, everything is just top tier champs. And it's just kind of like overload of stuff to do. And I see the reverse of this, by the way, with people saying you don't have to do anything in this game. Why is everyone upset? You don't have to do anything. You're totally right. We could just take 2 weeks off, 3 weeks off, a month off, whatever you want to do. You don't have to interact with this game in the way that we do for some of us that play it pretty hardcore. But yeah, I don't know. It does feel, though, that when you've got all of these things coming at you, you know, how much can your brain soak in before it becomes a bit of a, I just need to turn it off and go and do something else. So I don't know. It just, at the moment, it's particularly fierce, harsh. I don't know. It's just so much. So I totally understand those people that feel like fatigue set in and they just need a bit of a breather. Anyway, look, you know, there's life outside of Raid. Enjoy your life as well. Don't get too sucked in by this stuff. Just do the stuff that you want to do. Enjoy the game. Do remember that it's a game, and you know, we play it to enjoy it rather than we play it as a second job. Although I actually play it as a job. But yeah, we play it fundamentally to enjoy the game. So only do what feels right to you. Anyway, rattled on for ages. Have yourself a good day, and I'll see you soon.